Hey, how's it going? So I um let my hair air dry yesterday and I didn't have time to straighten it, nor did I curl it, didn't do anything. And when I just let it air dry, it's curly, but then the second day it's just like frizzy mess. So I'm going to curl it loosely. Instead of just straightening it, the whole thing, I'm just going to curl it just to kind of get the frizz out and just kind of style a little bit. This just kind of spur of the moment. I didn't even expect to come on. I don't even have the backdrop set up behind me. So just kind of doing this on a on a quick thing. I haven't done my colors since before the holidays, since before Christmas, and I just have not had time to do it. Something has always come up, and I may do it tomorrow. We'll see. But I usually like it much darker than this. It's getting to be much too light. I don't like it where it starts to look like it's all one color with no contrast. So then my own color looks mousy, and then there's gray in there. Okay, so change up here. Lately, I for a while was using a Paul Mitchell thermal spray. But now I'm switching back to my Not Your Mother's Beat the Heat, and I haven't used this in a while. But this is actually one of I actually prefer this over the Paul Mitchell one. But I had actually bought doubles of the Paul Mitchell, and I was just kind of like using it a lot for a long time, just to use it up. But I just got tired of if that one's okay, definitely okay. But I like this one better. So I just for the fragility of my hair, I decided to switch back to this. This whole line, the Not Your Mother's with the red label, is the label that has. And I'm also putting a little hairspray on the ends. It's very conditioning and good for growing out your hair. So so that's why I have been trying to grow my own hair longer, and considering all that I do to it, I have preserved it with all that I use. But so I'm taking a section. I've sectioned, half my hair off. That's what I just saw me do while I was talking, and then slowly wrapping it around, and then I kind of release the handle, and then keep spinning, and then I can first spray was on the ends was Sleek and Shine Joining Fructis. I've showed this in other videos before, but and then this one's the Locket, L'Oreal Locket. I like this one because it definitely locks it in. And see, it gets it nice and tight. Now what I'm doing is this time, because I'm not straightening it, and I want to encourage like this kind of, it's just kind of amping up this original curl look. I'm curling one piece this way, going back, and then the next piece I'm curling forward. So that's so the reason why the thermal spray helps uh, protect it from the heat of the curling iron, and also gives a nice shine. And then the hairspray on the ends, see how dry my ends are. If I were to go to a stylist and that I didn't know, and I'd say, "Oh, get my dead ends off," they'd cut my hair up to here, because from here on down, this hair has been colored over and highlighted and color over. But so whereas a trim would only be like this much, right? So because I have a lot of processing on my hair, plus it's natural curl. Like I said, I brushed out. Technically, you're not supposed to brush out curl, but if you're just going to just let it go, my own hair, if I let it go curly, maybe put some gel in there, and put some curl lotion, or then I would have, and it would have been more like you would have seen the natural curls better. And then this morning, all I would have done was just re-wet my hair. But because yesterday I kept meaning to eventually smooth out my hair or curl my hair, and I never did, then it got slept on, then it became just, frizzy and kind of messy. So I was just like, you know what, I don't feel like going to all that work and straightening it out this time, and I thought I'd just do it this way. And this way it still gives me kind of like a fun kind of glam curly kind of look, but at the same time it I'm not I'm just kind of amplifying its own curl, as opposed to taking all this and then trying to straighten it out and then maybe adding a little curl to the ends, if that makes any sense. So it ends up curling the whole thing. And but yeah, so that's the one thing is when you're trying to let your hair grow, when you have multiple processing on it, you have to really be careful and keep it as healthy as possible, because you don't want to have a lot of breakage and then end up having to cut a lot of it off. So you can see, even just doing that, look at how much shinier that is, you know. And okay, so now over here, section by section. I'm taking, these are vertical sections going this way. And but I've had people, sometimes I'll do my hair on a live video, and people are like, you just need to cut all that hair off. I'm like, you know how many women's hair looks like this if they don't use a flat iron, or they don't use a curling iron, or they, you know, with multiple processes on their hair, if you color it, if you have highlights, a lot of people, especially if it's natural curl, you're just so used to seeing it when it's done. Or a lot of women just pull their hair. But now that offices have become much more casual, a lot of women will just wear their hair wet in a bun. Like, I'll go to my doctor's office, and the team of support staff, like the women who run the front desk, all of them will have wet hair in a bun, and I can totally tell that their hair is like mine. It's naturally curly. They might have highlights on it. They may have some color, and and so you're only seeing it when it's like wet, and so of course it's gonna look. You know, you're never gonna see it. They never have it down and just let it go curly, and you know, brush out the tangles or anything like that. So you're never seeing it. But and then there's other people who have hair even curlier than mine that you go to the hairstylist. Let's see if they get color, and they have to have their hair. You have to brush it out right before you style it. And I'll have a customer. I would have a customer in the chair, and right when it gets brushed, you know, the moment it might look like you know, like out to here, and they'll be like, "Is that woman getting her hair fixed?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's getting her roots done." They're like, "No, with that frizz," and I'm like, "No, they just do that way so they can kind of they can, you know, separate it to put the color on the roots." And eventually, that's not how she's going to look when she leaves, you know. But when you're mid-process, you know, you gotta do things, you know. Okay, you gotta go through the weird. That's the biggest thing I learned when I was in cosmetology school, is you have to look really weird to look good when it's all done. The process itself is very strange looking. In fact, when I first started cosmetology school, had to stop myself from laughing at people, because I'd walk by and somebody would have, like, you know, a plastic cap on their head with conditioner, or somebody's hair would be separated into four little things. They look like a little puppy dog, or two, part in the middle on either side, section on either side, and they look like a little puppy dog, or some older lady with like weird stuff on her hair, and you know, and it's like, what is that? You know, because it looks so awful. But you know, I didn't know that. You know, that was just the process of, you know, how it looks when you're mid process. You know, so it was just kind of funny. All right, new section of hair. Okay, with the not your mother's. And it's a gray day here. There'd be more light. I've got my ring light on. I've got another light right here, but it's a very gray day, or else there'd be more light. I think sometimes the backdrop actually helps, even if it's not a shiny backdrop, it actually helps, like, make there be the light that's, like, come right onto the person, as opposed to the light going around everything else, if that makes any sense. All right. This piece is going to curl back. So, yeah. So a little Just, clicking this and turning. Click, click, turn, click, click, turn. That helps roll it so that you get the spiral shape. Okay, so since that one was back, we're doing this one. This second. So it's actually 4 pieces per side. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this piece, since that one was back, this one's going to go forward. Another thing that helps with the shine is the hairspray. These are not sticky hairsprays. These are called working hairsprays, and working hairsprays are different than the kind of like what people think of like the big 80s Aquanet hairsprays. Working hairsprays mean that they give a little bit of the hold and a little bit of the lacquer, but you can still like run your hands through it so that you can, well, this one's a little bit harder, but that way you can still work, and it gives the texture, it helps the hold, and it gives the shine. And that's why we do it. And a lot of times people, when they do their hair at home, they aren't doing the sprays in the same, or taking the smallest sections that we do, that professionals do, and that's why the curls don't stay as long as when you get your hair done at a hair salon. Since I've been doing hair 42 years this year, 42 years, and then it's interesting how I don't remember, one of the followers here said, when after I talked about products on the last video about the empties, you should be teaching this. You should be teaching a class on how to do hair, on hair products. And it's like, I was a salon educator. I worked as a salon educator. I'm a hairstylist. I was a salon educator. I was a store assistant manager. I was a store manager. Then I stepped down and just became a hairstylist again. Then for many years just worked as hairstyling. But with the cosmetology license, you learn how to do hair, whether it's coloring, perming, highlighting, all that, cutting, men's haircuts, women's haircuts, kids' haircuts, all that. You also learn skincare, and you learn nails, all with one license. Then there are specific licenses, nail license and esthetician license. So, but with the cosmetology license, it covers everything. Okay, so if you have a knowledge, and then I also taught hair cutting at one time, so I was in my salon educating time. I taught hair cutting. I and then did product education. So it's a mix of everything, and and then after a certain point, when I kind of got to a point where you get so kind of burnt out working for somebody else. I rented my own mini salon for 4 years. I had my own store, my own retail space, and my own mini salon that I rented. And so I had my own business for 4 years, a storefront in a space where a lot of other salon salon people worked. Some people were hair people, some people were skincare people, some estheticians, some people were electrolysis, some people were nail, some people, a little bit of everything. You can specialize in the with the cosmetology license, or you can do a little bit of everything. There was a whole mix of different professionals, and many people in the salon industry are going to the rental, not just renting a booth in a salon, but it's a space where there's just many smaller spaces that stylists and people in the beauty industry can rent. Just like how there's medical buildings where there are a bunch of doctors will be inside. Doctors' offices will be inside. They now have these. So I had one of those for 4 years, and then I was doing everything, and then in the middle of all that, the recession hit, which affected business. And then we had, I don't know if anybody remembers, the Snowmageddon during the Snowmageddon time, and that affected business. And then we had in the spring, we had lots of storms that affected electricity. And, it was like it wasn't one thing after another. The first year, of course, my first year of business was wonderful because I had this huge clientele and everything was great. And I'd say the first, well, actually 2 years of things were the best. And then the recession hit, and the gas prices tripled, whatever, and then groceries, and then and I still did some things that boost my business. A lot of social media, and did, things where things that referral programs, and buy, refer a friend and get your hair half off, and all those kinds of things, or 20% off highlights, or I did a lot. I did a lot of things to boost my business, and did a lot of things during that time, and it did help. It did help. But after 4 years, it wasn't one thing after another, and then I decided that I was done with renting the space. So then that was 20 at the end of 2011 and into 2012, and then 2012 I started to just do freelance, and that's what I do now. I've been freelance ever since then. So that's been 12 years. Or actually, no, 13 now. Now that we're in 2025, it's been 13 years of being freelance. So it's a long time, and that's like, um, I've worked for other people. I've um, done things for myself. I do go on site. There are many kids that I was their hairdresser for their first haircut. I'm in a lot of people's photo albums where I was cutting their baby's first haircut, or their little boys, or their, all these things, and holding their head still, and if they're ticklish on the back of their neck with the clippers and all that stuff. I was that hairdresser. And, giving the boys the fades, and, those 90s haircuts with the lightning bolts and the buzz cut, and the flat top with the lightning bolt and the whole vanilla ice thing. I did those haircuts. And then in the 80s, the shaved, the asymmetric, one side long, one side short, and all those different hairdos. The mullets, the mohawks, the bi-level, the shag, the Farrah Fawcett, the Dorothy Hamill, the gosh, you name it, the skater bowl haircut for boys in the 90s. That whole, what was it? That whole thing with the highlights and the spiky, and I did all those. I seen every hair trend come and go. Basically, and so that's what I've been. I did men's and women's hair, and had a lot of fun with it. And some of I still am very good friends with people that are from the industry, bosses who I had during those times, and other stylists, and some people you lose touch with, because the hardest thing is, for a long time we only knew each other by our first names. So unless you were like really, really good friends and spent a lot of time with somebody outside of work. But sometimes you just knew people with first name, and you go out after work, and then sometimes somebody moves or has a baby and decides to not come back to work full time, and maybe you only see them once in a while, and or their schedule's off the opposite of yours, and it's a lot, talking like, I want to put the wrong spray. So yeah, so it's a fun industry. It's a lot of shops, more shops now have dress codes. Some shops have eased up on dress codes. Um, for to do hair in the 80s and 90s, when a lot of funkier clothes, and it was really cool outfits, and um, uh, cool haircuts, and a lot of fun things and going out after work, and it was a lot of good times, and made a lot of nice people. Got to know a lot of really nice people, and got advice from a lot of good people. And one thing about this business is I could do somebody's hair. They're going away on vacation and going to some resort, and they're having a good time, or they just got back from vacation and they're telling me about all their fun or whatever. And then the next person that I might see, their brother may have died, and they're getting their hair done for the funeral. You kind of have to be flexible, listen to people's problems. Somebody could be going through a divorce. Somebody could be a teenager could be being bullied, or could have some boyfriend problems, or a guy. Sometimes teenage boys would tell me their girlfriend problems, or problems with their parents, or a whole bunch of different things. And uh, you know um, and some people, I would really get to know them so well that I'd be invited to their family parties. One son who I gave a lot of advice to, I was doing the mother's hair for quite some time, and then I was doing the son's hair, and then I was invited to the son's graduation party, and then his 21st birthday party. And there's some people like that you grow close to, and I'm really blessed because I got to know some really amazing families. And because I don't have kids of my own, so watching 42 years of people um, of grow up, generations. Some of them are now. One lady, when I first started doing her hair in 1988, she had um, two twin girls, and those twin girls are now, how are they? They were 2 years old at that time, so it was 86, so that means they're both 39 this year. And they have kids of their own now. And I have seen those girls grow up. I've seen other clients' kids grow up, and sons that, grow up and then get married, and I'm the one, cutting his hair for his wedding. And it's really special. It's really special to be included in that, in those family things. Or I'm doing the hair of a girl who was their back to school haircuts. I'm doing her hair for her wedding, and you feel so proud because you're like, oh, I can remember when I was cutting your hair before your cheerleading or your soccer practice, or um, and now I'm doing her hair for a wedding. And it's like, so then I feel like I'm, kind of like an aunt in a way, um, and it's kind of wild being able to be a part of all these families, and get to know all these amazing people. So I've been very, very lucky with my clientele and the people who I've been able to meet and get to know. And I've been very, very lucky. So I never really felt like I missed out. I never really felt like I missed out at all, because I got to see them, the best of them. I never got to see the dirty socks, and diapers, dirty socks, or dirty laundry, or whatever, or messy rooms. But I got to see them. Still got to see them grow up. And so in that way, I'm very, very, really, really, really blessed. And now up here, I'm not doing as tight. I just want just a bend, because I don't like the top to be too curly Q. So, but yeah, it's an interesting profession. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of sweating, standing and sweating when you're got a blow dryer in your hand for blow drying somebody's hair down here with a hot blow dryer. It's very, very hard work, and not easy, not easy. some days. Some days it's a lot of fun. Some days it's fun people, fun clients. Wait, there's one piece here that I'm, oh, okay, this goes over here. Sometimes it's a lot of fun people, and some days you can have somebody who's going through a tough time and take it out on us. And, it's like anything, any job in the retail world and the dealing with the public service industry. It's challenging, but the service industry does get affected by a lot of things. After COVID, that's another reason why I started to concentrate more on YouTube, because after COVID, income changed, everything changed. A lot of people start growing out their hair, not worrying as much. They're home, working from home. Dress codes, if they are going into work, the dress codes have eased up. So the necessity for people to come and get their hair done all the time has, it's changed. It's definitely not as much as it would be. Now I'm taking a little bit of this is one of my favorite products. I put this in whether it's the first time I style my hair. I put this in like when my hair's wet with my leave-in conditioner. This is argan oil by One and Only, and you can pick it up at Sally Beauty Supply. And then I just kind of use it to kind of go through the curls. And yeah, see, I just kind of gives kind of like a fresher kind of look to. You can wear it so wavy and curly, but it's organized. It doesn't look frizzy, Looks like I did something, Look like I did something. I just use my own nails as like a pick. I got the sniffles today. I woke up coughing. I'm trying not to come down with anything. I've been trying to be good and not get sick. But I did have a little bit of a sniffle and a cough this morning, so definitely going to go to bed early. I'm taking a lot of vitamin C. I'm definitely trying to avoid. I have not gotten sick this winter, and I hope it's just just a little irritation kind of a thing, not even a full blown cold or a. There you go. See, when it's styled, the roots don't look quite as bad. Now, if it'll look good tomorrow and Friday, maybe I'll wait to do my color over the weekend. But we shall see. We shall see about that. I just picked out the brush out those pieces. See, and by doing it every other way, it's not all flipping this way, and it's not all down under either. It's just kind of like a fun, messy, kind of curly, look. But at the same time, you could brush it out, and it would be a more traditional wavy kind of look. But I like it where it's like different, Still a little messy, but at the same time, it's like an organized mess, That's what I like. The organized mess. I like that look a little bit. And then, if you want to hit it with a little hairspray, use this as a finishing. This one's a little bit heavier. Let's see, here's the back. And that also helps it to stay longer, a lot of people, are using the wrong sprays. They get too sticky, can be very messy when you're trying to spray the curling iron and all that. This one is a number 4, and this one also is a number 4. But this one always feels a little stronger. Sometimes I use ones that are like a number 3 too. A 3, definitely not a 2, but as well, I should say. And then I also got the spray that's called Silkening Mist. It's Sebastian. I'm trying out. It's like an oil spray that gives it a little shine. This smells like an old school hairspray, even though it's not. And then I also got this one, Rapid Shine Spray, Professional Treatment, Brilliance and Gloss. So I've been trying to add more shine to my hair. This feels more like a hair oil, but every little bit helps. Little bit helps. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I appreciate the support. Don't forget to hit thumbs up. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload more videos. And don't forget to share this video with your friends who like beauty and style, or maybe somebody who just might need a smile, okay? Alright, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.